Nobody tells you the most dangerous financial mistake you can make isn't losing money. It's not a bad investment. It's not debt. It's not even overspending. It's waiting. And I know that sounds backwards, because every piece of advice you've ever heard says, but there's a difference, a very expensive difference, between patience and delay. And by the end of this video, you're going to feel that difference somewhere deep in your gut. Not just understand it, feel it. I want to tell you about two people. Same college, same starting salary, same city, same job for 35 years. One of them retired with $2.3 million. The other retired with $305,000. Same paycheck, same expenses, 7 times the difference in outcome. And none of it, not a single dollar of that gap, had anything to do with stocks, crypto, real estate, or getting lucky on anything. I'll tell you exactly what separated them. But first, you need to understand something that almost everyone gets wrong about how money actually grows. Because what you've been told is technically correct and completely useless. Here's what the textbooks say. Compound interest is interest on interest. That's true. And it means nothing until you actually watch it happen. Let me show you what's really going on. You put $10,000 into an account earning 8% a year. Year 1, you earn $800, straightforward. Year 2, you don't earn $800 again, you earn $864. That extra $64 didn't come from work. It didn't come from a good decision. It came from time. Year 3, $933. Year 5, $1,088. Year 10, you're earning $1,500 in a single year on the same $10,000 you put in a decade ago. Year 20, $3,406. Year 30, you're earning roughly $4 every single hour, while you sleep, while you eat, while you're doing absolutely nothing, on money you touched once and never looked at again. That's the machine, and most people never see it turn on because they quit watching before it does. This is the single most misunderstood thing about compound interest. It doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows on a curve. And that curve is almost completely flat for the first several years, which means most people look at their account after year 3 or year 5 and think, this isn't working. This is too slow. And they move the money, or they spend it, or they stop contributing, and they never see what was building just on the other side of that flat line, because the curve bends, slowly at first, then faster, then almost vertically, and the money you'll earn in years 25 through 30 will be more than everything you earned in years 1 through 24 combined. That's not motivational language. That's the math. And the math doesn't care whether you believe it or not. Morgan Housel writes about this in The Psychology of Money, and it's one of those books that sounds simple until it rewires how you think about everything. He points out that Warren Buffett's net worth at age 30 was around $1 million. Impressive, obviously. But roughly 90% of his total wealth was accumulated after his 50th birthday. That's not stock-picking genius. That's 60-plus years of uninterrupted compounding. The strategy matters less than the timeline. The timeline is almost everything. William Bernstein makes the same point from a different angle. The cost of waiting isn't just the returns you miss. It's the compounding of those returns. Every year you delay is a year of gains you lose, plus a year of gains on those gains, plus a year of gains on those gains. The loss multiplies with the same math that would have made you rich. It just works against you instead. Now let me tell you about Maya and David. Maya is 23 years old. She's a software engineer 2 years out of college. She doesn't have a lot of extra money, but she starts putting away $500 a month into a broad index fund returning roughly 8% a year. She does this for exactly 10 years. Then life happens. A house, kids, some financial pressure, and she stops completely. No more contributions. She doesn't touch the account, doesn't withdraw it, just leaves it there. Total amount she put in, $60,000. David is disciplined, focused, and smart. But he waits until he's 33 to start investing, the exact year Maya stopped. He commits hard. $500 every single month for the next 30 years, never misses a payment, never withdraws. Total amount he puts in, $180,000. 3 times what Maya invested. 30 years of contributions versus Maya's 10. At retirement, Maya has $2.3 million. David has $305,000. David put in 3 times the money, contributed for 3 times as long, and ended up with less than 15% of Maya's outcome. If that doesn't make you want to open a brokerage account right now, I don't know what will. This isn't a trick. There's no sleight of hand. This is just what happens when you give compounding a decade's head start. Those 10 years Maya had on David didn't just give her 10 more years of 8% returns. They gave her 10 more years of compounding at the steepest part of the curve, the part where the machine is running at full speed. David spent 30 years catching up to something he could never mathematically catch. The people who build real, quiet wealth, the ones who seem fine their whole careers, and then retire to a house on the lake that surprises everyone. They're almost never the highest earners in the room. They're the earliest starters. They started before it felt significant, before the amounts felt meaningful, before they were sure it was going to work. They started when $500 a month felt like a rounding error, because they understood something most people don't. The $500 isn't the point. The decades attached to it are. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop thinking about investing as an annual performance. Did I pick the right fund? Did I beat the market? Did I make a good call this year? That's the wrong question entirely. Compound interest doesn't care about your year. It cares about one thing and one thing only. How many consecutive years of uninterrupted growth have you given it? The investor who earns 7% for 40 years will out-earn the investor who earns 12% for 20 years. Every single time, no exception. Time beats rate. Always. And the reverse, this is the part that should genuinely disturb you. The reverse is equally brutal. Every year you wait to start isn't just a year of gains. You don't collect. It's a year of compound growth at the end of your timeline that disappears. And the end of your timeline is where all the real money lives. A 25-year-old who delays investing for 1 decade doesn't lose 10 years of 8% returns. She loses the exponential growth that those 10 years would have triggered across the next 30. That 1 decade of delay can translate to $1 million difference at retirement. Not because of what you didn't earn, because of what those earnings would have earned and what those earnings would have earned. The gap isn't linear. It compounds, just like everything else in this equation. Now, here's what I want to make clear, because this is where most financial content loses the plot. You don't need to be sophisticated to make this work. You don't need to understand options trading or technical analysis or which sectors are going to outperform this quarter. The most powerful version of compound interest available to a regular person is embarrassingly simple. A consistent monthly contribution into a low-cost index fund, started as early as possible and left completely alone. The numbers are not as dramatic as you might think. $200 a month, less than most people spend on subscriptions they've forgotten they signed up for. Starting at age 25, earning 8% annually becomes over $700,000 by retirement. That same $200 started at 35 becomes roughly $310,000. Same $200, same rate, 10-year difference in start date, almost $400,000 difference in outcome. This is why financial advisors who've seen hundreds of clients over decades say the same thing without exception. The single most impactful financial decision you will ever make is not which investment you choose. It's when you start. Most people treat financial readiness like a destination. I'll start when I have more income. I'll start when I pay this off. I'll start when things settle down. But things don't settle down. Income goes up and lifestyle expands to meet it. The debt gets paid and something else appears. The permission you're waiting for is never going to arrive, because it was never about readiness. It was about priority. The people who start don't start because they have it figured out. They start because they understand that waiting has a price tag, and that price tag compounds every year they delay. So here's where I want to leave you. You're probably not going to remember every number from this video. That's fine. But remember this, the curve, almost completely flat for years, quietly, invisibly building. And then, without announcement, without fanfare, it bends upward and it doesn't stop. Everything that was working silently in the background for 2 decades shows up all at once. You won't feel compound interest building. That's the whole point. You feel it later, years later, when the account is generating more in a single month than you earn at your job. When the machine you built in your 20s is running on its own and you're just watching it go. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is not next month, not after the next raise, not when things settle down. It's today, right now. Whatever amount you can move, move it. Because every day you wait, the math starts working against you instead of for you. And that's a loss you can never get back. If this landed for you, subscribe. Because next week we're going inside the actual account types that let compound interest work at full speed without giving half of it back in taxes. That video could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't want to miss it.